All right, everybody. Welcome to the Farmall. All right. We are, I don't know, I'm taking the gloves off. We are getting ready to put our new starter on. So real quick, old starter has a convenient push button on it. This is actuated by a rod that goes back to a lever at the driver's seat. Stupid ants. I hate ants. I hate bugs in general. This, as you can see, is close to this end of the starter. However, new starter, nothing close to the end of the starter. Instead, in the middle, we have just a post. Everything else, the important bits, are identical. This is a more modern starter, but it's a rebuild, and you can tell that because from this joint here in the middle over is cast iron, just like the original. But this body cover is not cast iron. The original is. This is, I don't know, I assume steel. I hope steel. So this is different. This is original. The interior is probably different as well, but built to the same specs. So we're gonna put this in today. First step in doing that, remove our rag that's plugging the hole. Second step, pulling the bolts back out of the block here. I shouldn't even say the block, it goes into the frame. Oops, almost lost the washer there. So we get this pulled out, and we'll get the new starter put in. Check our orientation. It's got to go down, which is what I thought. There we go. And then it's just a matter of getting the bolts in and all lined up. Come on. And of course it's going to fight me. There we go. Maybe. Yes, there we go. Alright, so that's on. I'm going to get this on. Now I'm going to have to go around to the other side of the tractor to do this. We do have one dog wandering around. Sir Alexander's out here with us. Little man's still in the house. He wouldn't come off the porch. I think he's sitting up there probably watching us, being a grump. Might have to move this battery box out of my way because I'm having a hard time threading this other one in here. Maybe I might have gotten it. Let's step on the starter a little. No. Alright, what we can do to help a little bit with this is actually tighten this one up to the point that the starter isn't just flopping around. Unfortunately, due to the nature of this change, one of the things that's going to have to change is our entire wiring setup. Because the switch is no longer built into the starter, I'm going to have an external switch, which is already on order. In fact, it was on order at the same time as the starter, just hasn't arrived yet, unfortunately. There, that should be enough of that plate taken out. And that is a push button starter that will mount up here on the steering column somewhere. Not sure exactly where yet. And all of the wires that were connected for the positive battery that are hanging loose there in front of the starter right now will have to be rehomed. Now thankfully those all run up to here anyway, so it's just a matter of cutting the zip ties holding them into the wiring bundle and moving them. We are struggling here. Not sure what the problem is. And that post and that bracket are going to fight. Well, that's less than ideal. So I'm going to have to remove that bracket before I can finish this job, which means pulling the starter back off, so at least part way. So this bracket right here is touching, pardon me, it's touching the post. That's going to be no bueno since the frame is ground. Now one thing I could potentially do to remedy all these problems is swap the outer body shell of the starter from the old one over to the new one. But I don't know enough about starters. I'm going to tear that old one apart and learn. Try to rebuild it and maybe put it back on the tractor if I succeed. But you know, that way it's more original. For now, I got to figure out how to get in there. And is there just 2 bolts or is there 4? It looks like just 2 bolts holding that framing down. I don't even know what that framing is for. Yeah. Don't even know what it's for. It's not currently holding on to anything, so I'm going to guess that's going to be our socket. Not that I'm probably going to be able to get a socket in here. I can get the socket in, just not the ratchet at the same time. Alright, so that means we need a wrench. I'll have a good selection of wrenches out. They're all laying loose inside the shed. Let's get these guys out of the way a little bit. Yeah, those bolts are just in or nuts, whatever they are, just in a terrible spot. Everything's in the way to get to them. What you doing, Alexander? You better be good. Alright. Oh, that one cracked loose, thankfully. Too far with my wrench adjustment there. The pros and cons of the old adjustable wrench, or as a lot of us in the United States call them, a crescent wrench. And of course my viewers from the UK and other parts of the world might call them a spanner, or rather an adjustable spanner, since spanner is just wrench. Oh, yeah, everything's definitely in the way. And this is the easier of the two. Yes. Always fun, right? I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background, but we've got what I believe to be an ambulance going across. We're only about 1.5 blocks from the hospital and about 2.5 from the emergency room entrance. Alright, that's pretty well loosened up now. I think I can just reach in there and spin it with my hand. Maybe. Nope. Well, these wires are just going to continue to get in the way. I don't know if there's anywhere I can stick them. They go over the fuel line? Yes. Alright. Love my hat, but it's gonna come off. Probably got some pretty bad hat hair going on. Oh, right, I don't have hair at the moment. Let's see if I can get this other one to loosen up. Not without taking off the toolbox, or at least sliding it out of our way. There we go. I do have the fire going as well, and I gotta keep an eye on that. Doesn't look like it's actually going too well right now, so I'm gonna run over there and do something about it. I'll be back. All right, welcome back. Got the fire going good, and made a little bit of progress. I got both using the crescent wrench. I got both of the bolts that are holding this bracket on loosened, only to discover that the little screw here for this wire hold down is in the way. Same little screw on the other side. I don't know what that one does yet. I didn't really look at it when I was over there. But anyway, little 7/16" bolt here that we are meticulously, with very little range of motion, removing with the ratchet. It's always like this when you're working on old equipment, especially ones like this where things have been that way for a very long time. Probably been painted over whenever the tractor got its repaint. This is not the original paint. I might have mentioned that one before. Ooh. And due to the lack of room, this is not an easy task. At least I own a 7/16" wrench. I don't actually have a proper set of wrenches. This wrench that I'm using actually came in the socket set. It's one of the few sizes that happen to be in there. Alright, that's getting pretty difficult, so we'll try this 7/16, see if this is any easier. Oh, well, that would be why it's spinning so freely. Unless that just happened when I took my hand away. Yeah. We should be getting pretty close at this point to having it out. It feels that way. I think we got it. There it is. Set that up there. Got the nut for it. Set that up there. They're both very rusty. I'll probably take them in the shed, clean them up on the wire wheel a little bit. And now, this side at least, should come right out. After I spin it the very long way up. Not sure where the vast majority of these wires go, because I haven't had the top of this open. There we go, another bolt out. And now that bracket swings out of our way, we could probably just tighten that back down and leave that bracket in there. I honestly don't see, oh no, because it's still going to hit the starter, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know how we're going to get that out, because that other 7/16" bolt on the other side, you can't really get to it. And that's got to come up just about 7/16 inch. So just about the head of the bolt in order to come out. Now, before we lose this, I'm thinking we'll put that back into its hole and thread it down. So this piece that this is bolting to the main frame is a support for the gas tank and also for the steering column, which runs all the way through. So it's not like we can just leave it. It needs to be there. That starter lever is probably the worst offender for being in the way. Might have to just take it right on out. We don't need it anymore with the changes we're making. You know, I should have found out what size the head of that bolt is. So I can go through my loose collection of wrenches and see if I have one of that size. I know it's not a 9/16 because that's what I was hoping it was, but it's not. Not a 1/2 inch either. So to get to the other one, we actually have to take the oil bath for the air cleaner off, which I've never done. I have no idea what it looks like in here or anything. Might be a good time to do it, eh? Oh yeah. So the oil's in here is pretty black. I'm not going to tip it and show you guys. I might grab the other camera and show you, because I need to show you something on the other side. So why don't I just do that? We're going to set that down right here in this nice convenient hollow spot in the ground, or basically right at the base of the tripod. And I'll grab the other camera here. So there's the oil bath air cleaner, and it's pretty black. If we grab this nice convenient stick and stir around in here, there you go. Look at that nasty white sludge. It's coming out. Yeah, that's pretty grody. That definitely needs changed. So we're gonna deal with that while we have it apart. And as we walk around to the other side, you can actually see it's kind of hanging all over in here as well. So it definitely needed changed, taken care of. And we'll just, oh, fire's died down a bit again. We'll just take this and toss it on the fire. It'll burn up. So say hi, Moose. No, 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 I didn't say get up. All right, fine, sit. Good boy. Shake. Good boy. How about shake the other one? Can you shake? No, not right now. Sit. Sit. Stay. Shake. Good boy. Shake the other one. Good boy. 5. 5 with the other one. Sit pretty. All right. Speak. Good boy. Speak. Come on. Speak. 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 There you go. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. Stay. He's staring at me so intently. You're a good boy, Moose. Yes. All right. Let's get back to the tractor. I'll deal with that when we're putting everything back together. In the meantime, I want to try to get this starter mount finished. Set that up there. You're a good boy, Moose. Yeah, you are. I'm gonna grab you guys and we'll walk around. Like, get out of there. He was gonna drink the dirty, nasty oil bath. All right, so this is where the oil bath was, and right up in there is that bolt. So I'm gonna set you guys right about here and hope you got a decent enough view. No promises. And nope. This one. I've had to do all sorts of monkey business with the battery box to keep it out of the way. And 7/16 onto that side. Yeah. Un momento. So the black nitrile, extra thick nitrile, that is, not medical grade, but mechanics grade. I got a size too large for my hands. They'll go over my gloves. And this is perfect for working in a situation like this where you got the oil dripping out of the upper portion of the oil bath air cleaner there. I'm gonna take that screen out and clean that too. Goodness. Now, can I get on there? No, because it's filthy. It's covered in all sorts of dirt. There we go. Another hazard when you're working on these old bits of equipment, right? Uh-oh. We're gonna put that there. We actually have to spin that bolt back down some because it's in the way. And we're gonna run the ratchet from the inside for the moment. I think that'll get her. Maybe, maybe not. I hear Moose eating a stick like he's not supposed to be. What a naughty boy. Yep, we're still on the correct direction. Klutz. King Klutz over here. I'm thinking actually I want this. Perfect. And then, oh, it'll wedge itself in there, in theory. If I can find the correct position among all these bits of rod of every sort again. Yeah, that's not gonna work like I was hoping because the, what is that one? Is that the choke? Yeah, the choke lever is of course right in the way. So continue to improvise, overcome, and adapt. Yes, I know that's the Marine Corps slogan, but so what? I think I have an extension. Extension had. And we gotta hold that one down. Oh. Ooh. Another genius idea. Since it's loose, yes, I have one. I know you guys can't see, but I'll be right back, I promise. Work smarter, not harder. I happen to have a 1/4" drive adapter for my drill. So all I gotta do is hold that. Oh, interesting. This one is on backwards from the other one. The nut is on the outside and the bolt is on the inside. I don't care, as long as it works. Come on. Ah, crud. Went on the ground. I saw it, there it is. So, we have our other 7/16, all good to go, if it'll stay up there. Now we just need to get this other bolt out all the way. This could take a minute. I enjoy having my dog out here with me when I work, for entertainment value if nothing else, right? Come on. Almost there. Uh-oh. We seem to be stuck. Yes? Maybe? Not quite. Perfect. Bracket out. I have no idea what that bracket does, but we'll keep it. We'll put it in the parts store for this tractor, because if it is original to the tractor and not an aftermarket add-on, and I do get the original starter going, I shouldn't say original, it's from 1965, I'm pretty sure, so that would also still be a replacement. But regardless, if we ever get that put back on, I'd like to know about it. I'm gonna real quick see if I can't find out what size these screws are. Might say right on the head if I can clean it up enough. Yeah, we aren't reading anything on that. All right. solid gold. We have a 5/8 inch bolt. And that is a perfect fit, not loose. So I need to have a 5/8 inch wrench in the future. I may have one in my very eclectic collection of tools, but since I've never bought an actual set of wrenches, it's hard to say. I am not gonna sit here and thread these in like this on camera. I'm just trying to get it started so that it doesn't get lost, and I'll put them back in off camera. No need to make you guys be tortured by every little moment of threading in some bolts. That one does not want to go in. Well, I think it's in far enough for now, so I'll bring you guys back around to the other side and we can get that new starter put in. It's right back where you were. Oh, grab the very heavy starter, and for the second time today, thread it in here. Oh, come on. Now, of course, it doesn't want to start the bolts again. The same problem we were having before. In this case, the plastic gloves I have in are probably more of a hindrance than help. What you doing there, pup? You getting in the way? Always in the way? You're a good boy. Let's see if we can get the other one started. Move, Alden. This ought to be easier to get this one started now, since we don't have the battery box in the way. Almost. I got cross threaded it though. That ain't gonna work. Oh. It's very difficult because you got to get the starter to sit on just the right angle, not have the bolt angled. Oh, I did it. Hoorah. Now we grab our adjustable wrench one more time and just start tightening them up. 2/6, so 1/3 of a turn at a time. No, sorry, 1/6 at a time. Whew. I think we can spin this one pretty easy by hand. Yeah. The other one not so much. There's that one all tightened up. Yep, I definitely would like a set of wrenches. Not just any set either, but a ratcheting set. Not really in the cards right now though. We'll make do with what we have in typical farm tradition. Alright, that's on there. And tight. So now what we need to do, let's get the battery box repositioned where it belongs. Grab its washers and nut and get those back onto it. If I can. Yeah, these are not original and they don't really work right. Unfortunately. Any of these wrenches fit that? That'd be nice. That one doesn't. This is a 9/16 again. It is, I think. Oh, it's a little loose. What do we have here? 1/2 inch? We'll try 1/2 inch. Yes, it is a 1/2 inch. Alright, so slide the battery box in. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Throw in sockets. We'll get our negative battery cable hooked up. Now, assuming all things are equal, not going to start because I don't have all of the rest of these cables connected to the positive. I'm not sure which ones are super important and which ones are less so. But I'm thinking I'm going to put you guys on pause and go get a bolt that'll tie all those together, and we'll see where we get. I'll be back. Alright, so in my eclectic pile of leftovers and scrap from other projects, 7/16 bolt and nut, and a second 7/16 wrench, as well as an 11, which pretty much the same size. So what we're going to do, we're going to take all these cables and just thread everything onto here. And then we'll tighten this nut down. Grab one 7/16 to hold it and the other to spin it. Wait, haha, that's right. We have 7/16 in the drill. It's not a deep socket though, so I'm gonna have to flip this over to do that. And that ain't gonna work because of how I have it all set up. That's all right. We can do a little wrench turning. Alright, there we go. That is everything. And now, pull the button. Make sure she's in neutral, which she is. This is dangerous, standing in front of the tractor tire to start a tractor. But that's business. I don't know if you guys heard me, but that's business. Obviously, we haven't done the oil bath for the air cleaner yet, so we're sucking raw air with no filter. That's not great, so we're going to shut it down. No. Now, I do have the push button starter on order. I have a battery disconnect that I picked up at Tractor Supply. I'm gonna have to go and get 2 of their shortest battery cables that are this end on both ends, because one of them is gonna have to go from the post to the disconnect from the other side of from the post to the starter button. And then there's a second one that's going from the other side of the starter button to one side of the battery disconnect, and then this will connect to the other side of the battery disconnect. I want that battery disconnect before the starter button, not after it. It could work either way, but for my own peace of mind and where I plan on mounting that disconnect, it makes more sense for it to be on the other side. So that's where we're at for today. Let's address that oil bath. The first thing I got to do is go in the house and get my phone, because I left it in there like a dingbat, and look up what oil is supposed to go in that oil bath. I think it's just straight 30 weight, but I don't know, so better to look it up. I'll be back. And welcome back again. So I've already dumped the oil bath out, and there's a lot of sludge in the bottom of that, and I do mean a lot. And it looks like some water too. It's an advantage to oil bath air cleaners. If water does make it into your air cleaner somehow, condensation, capillary action, etc., it goes into the oil and it sticks most of the time because of the way oil and water don't mix, right? So yeah, I got some carb cleaner here, and we're gonna not drop the glove there, obviously, because it's not gonna fall away. We're gonna spray some of that into this junk. Ugh. Yeah. Wee. All right, I'm gonna go and dump this on the fire. Yes, I know that's bad. All right, that worked out pretty much perfect. I emptied that can of Alexander, no. Alexander. Un momento. Sorry about that. That was one of my neighbors out exercising. He's jogging down the alley, and Moose thought he had to go say hi, and then of course jump all over the poor guy's bare belly with his claws. That's never fun. So we're gonna sit this down for a moment. Ugh, yuck. Downside to carb cleaners, it does eat cheaper paint. Not that we care about the paint on the outside of that right now. Let's get this thing on. We're not staying totally clean, but the idea is to keep the majority of the yuck off to make cleanup easier. So, blue shop towels. Probably need a few of these. But we got most of the sludge out with the carb cleaner. Now we just go in and wipe it down and get the rest. And it's pretty grody in there still, even though we got most of the sludge out. So we're just gonna keep at this and wipe down the outside as best we can too. Oh, hey, I can actually see the oil fill level line now. That's a bonus. All right, so that's the whole outer ring clean. Boys, be nice. One more towel ought to do it. And I was correct. It is 30 weight, straight 30 weight oil. Lots of questions on the interweb about using like 10W40 or 15W40. You do not want to do that. The reason that it's straight 30 weight is because at that viscosity level, the oil is heavy enough that it doesn't get sucked up into the engine, and it's still a good viscosity for pulling all the particulate matter out of the air. I don't claim to understand all the science behind it, but I know that much. All right, I think that's as clean as we're gonna get it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Wipe off my fingers a little bit before I stick them on my nice clean inside. And clean off some of this grease, oil, dirt, you know, everything that you don't want in your engine from the outside. And then it's as simple as grabbing your 30 weight oil. I like Shell Rotella for everything these days. And you just pour it in up to the fill level. Wait for a minute for it to even out, because there are the two chambers and there's only a few small holes for the oil to go through to level out between the two. There we go. We are up to that fill line. Now, you guys keep in mind, I'm not an expert. I'm making these videos for the fun of it and to show you guys out there that anyone can do this. All right, we got our nice battery cable for the negative in the way a little bit. So push that aside, move this up on here, get the retaining ring around it, and just tighten that ring down while keeping your hand underneath the oil bath. And I've got the words for it on the, whoop, I don't want it touching the piping here. Make sure that's good and tight so that it doesn't come loose while you're operating the tractor. And voila, she is done. And I think that's where we're going to call it for today. We got quite a bit accomplished. Might not feel like it, but we did. Next video might be an actual oil change. We'll be using some more of this Rotella. I have a bunch of these 1 gallon jugs of it. I don't remember how much it takes. I do have on my Amazon Farmall wish list, I do have the books for this tractor. I have both this, because this is the 54 Super H, which has bits of the H and bits of the 55 Super H. There were changes between 54 and 55. The 54 is more similar to the standard H in terms of how things are assembled. So it's a good idea to have both manuals. So I'm gonna get both manuals. And then there's also just a general Farmall servicing guide, and I'd like to get that one too. So all three of those are on my wish list as things to purchase. But yeah, I don't remember how much oil it takes. It doesn't matter. We will do it the way they did it in the old days. They didn't care what the book said. You take the fill plug out. All right, here's a tip. I learned this one from another YouTuber. Take the fill plug out first. That way, if it's stuck, you haven't drained all your oil out with no way to refill it. You can continue to work on the fill plug and getting that unstuck. And then once you do have that freed up, then you take out your drain plug. Now, in these old tractors, you have a fill plug, you have a level plug, and you have a drain plug. So you got 3 plugs, and that's the order that you want to take them out in: fill, level, drain. Worst case scenario with the level plug, if that's stuck and you just can't get it freed up, you can eyeball it through the fill hole and get it close enough. That's not great, but anyway, this won't be the end of the video, just the end of today's work. And we will come back to this tomorrow or another day this week and get that oil change done. And hopefully some of the other parts will come in. In the meantime, peace. See you on the next one.